Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FsPassengers with me, Herd37. So we are here in Battle Creek, Michigan, and we're going to be doing another requested flight. This one is going to be up to Hamilton, Ontario. By the way, I just looked at this and picked a kind of a bad place to freaking start out. Unreal. But before we get started, we did have one slight problem. I got back from a wedding that I went to like a week or so ago, and the computer kind of acted kind of funny and stuff, and I actually just decided to just go ahead and reinstall Windows and do a whole fresh installation of everything. So I do that, and I've got, several games that I back up and everything, and this is like September, 15th or something that I was doing this, and so I go to put my FsPassengers back in, and I look at the backup file, and I just happen to notice that its date was June. I was like, what the hell? I totally freaked out. I tried to recover stuff, see if it was possibly on the hard drive backed up, doing just all kinds of stuff, and I could not do it. So I lost, like, about 2.5 months worth of FsPassengers, and that was... the last flight that I had that was backed up was when we went to it was up in New York, the Hamptons. That was episode 22, and the last one that I had done was episode 33. So I had basically lost a third. I was thinking, well, what can I gotta do? I gotta do something about the money and the rating and all that. So I actually, in the last couple of days, I actually flew all 11 flights again, not recorded or anything, but to get us back to where we were. And I was hoping the money would be the same and all that. And there's a couple of money hacks or whatever they said you could do. Apparently they're too old for this version because they didn't work. And we're about short about 50 grand. Go to this YouTube Airlines, blah, blah, blah. Alright. So there we are. Where is it? Yeah, 618. I believe we were supposed to be around 668,000. Short like 50 grand, which, man, that really just sucks. It says total flights 15. I'm not sure why it says that. Because I had the previous 22 and then I did the 11, which really, really sucks. But there's nothing I can do about it. We're just short 50 grand. And the thing is, we want to get a new plane, so losing 50 grand kind of sucks. But there's nothing I can do about it. I just grin and bear it. Alright, let's get this flight going. 5 passengers. It's a pretty short flight, I do believe. Probably go pretty short on the fuel. I don't want to go too short. Well, I'll leave it at 39%. We need every penny. Alright, so we'll go ahead and set the type to normal flight. Destination CYHM, Hamilton, Ontario.
Destination
Canada.
set.
Alright, we'll go ahead and load it up. Make sure we got our passengers.
Check handset able to. Check thrust lever. Check.
Alright. Move this up. Put their seatbelts on first thing. Just go down here and fuel. Alright. Move these up. Go ahead and open the cowlings as well. Go ahead and put this in like a low idle. Turn on the battery and the nav, magnetos, fuel pump. See if we can get her started up. Alright, put that in a low idle, and we can turn off that fuel pump from that alternator. It should have already been on. Magnetos, fuel pump, start the right engine. Alright, shut off that fuel pump. Alright, that's no, we don't want to do the prop heat. Windshield heat, pitot heat, radio master. And let's hit up ground. Get ourselves out of here. We're going in east, northeast? I can't remember. Yeah, northeast. So I'll just say to the east. Oh no, they screwed up my sound. Alright. Let me pause it real quick and go fix my sound real quick. Be right back.
5, 1 ready.
Alright, you can hear, cut it back on. Go ahead and acknowledge that.
Short runway 5, using taxiway Alpha 3,
And turn off the
Charlie Alpha 2,
parking brake and go ahead and push back. Got a little ways to go. Push back. Runway 5. Let's try and get up to 50. No idea how far we're gonna have to go to get there. Probably should have reset it when I saw those behind these buildings like this. Why would you want to park your aircraft clear over here anyway? I don't know. It really sucks that I lost so much stuff. I literally lost like the last third. The big thing was losing that 50 grand. I mean, I did the flights again, so I don't know how I ended up 50 grand short, actually. And the rating, I can't remember if it was the plane rating, I think it's my rating. I'm actually up 1%. I don't care about that as much as I care about the 50 grand. Because we really do need a new plane. I know people kind of getting tired of seeing this plane, but it's like we still got to get the money for it. Looked at some other planes. I think the cheapest Grand Caravan was 1.4. So we're not that far away, to be quite honest. It'll take a few more flights, especially if we do some longer ones. I looked at some other planes as well, and I think the Caravan, I can't remember if the Caravan is the cheapest, or it might just barely be the cheapest, or maybe it's barely not the cheapest. Stop right here. Turn on, where is it? Taxi light. So I don't know. I definitely do want a new plane as well. We just need a plane that holds more people too. We make so much more money off that. I mean, we're carrying what, 5 people? We got planes that can carry way more than 5. I wanted to say the Caravan. I think they have the Caravan up 11 or 12 maybe. Some of the other planes not quite as high, not quite as many people, I should say. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do, but we just got to do this plane for at least a few more flights, because we're still going to be several $100,000 short, which is another bad reason to lose 50 grand. And you need several $100,000. It'd just be that much closer. But like I say, there's nothing I can really do about it. I tried my best to recover and everything. But I think I found out too late because I wiped off it's an SSD and I reinstalled over it, and I think it probably just got written over. So there's nothing I could do about it. Apparently, when I reinstalled my computer in June, when I redid everything, I did backed up all my game saves to do it automatically, but apparently I didn't do FsPassengers to save automatically. Just every game but this one. So that really sucks. But I got it auto backing up now. And runway 5 is all the way down there. Alright, well, runway 5, you can see it right there, 523. Because we don't need that much runway. So this is 523 coming this way. Wonder if we can cut down there. I don't know if we've got enough runway right here. That's really cutting it close. Is that that's probably a taxiway down there. That would probably be the wisest. I mean, this plane can get going pretty good, but that's cutting it pretty short. Probably stand on the brakes. We'll rev it up, but we'll go down here. Let's see what we can do. Pull up here and stop. Yeah, it looks like there's a taxiway over there. Alright, well, looks like we're in the clear. So we'll just go to the first taxiway we can come to and head on over. Right here. This should be plenty of runway. ATC. Up the tower. A little bit closer, and it'll give us the option to call them. There we go.
Battle Creek Tower, Charlie, Alpha 240, ready at runway 5, east departure. Charlie, Alpha 240, prepared for takeoff, runway 5, east departure.
Sweet. Acknowledge that. We'll go ahead and turn on the strobes and landing lights. 1 notch of flaps. Make sure we'll go 2 notch of flaps. Alright. It feels kind of heavy. Just taking some more thrusts to get it going. There's still a rolling takeoff as well. Man, how the hell... I've been having problems with turning this plane. I remember from last time. Alright. I went way over. I think it was just going a little fast as well. Couldn't turn as quick. Alright. Go ahead and get this thing in the air. Positive rate, gear up. By the way, I have we'll try one notch of flaps. AccuFuel installed. I installed it before, but it gave me some problems after a while, so I took it out. But now I've got it back in. Just add some sounds and stuff like that. It's just kind of nice. Right. Flaps are fully retracted. Head out a little to the right. Move the range down as well. Desired track 082. Alright. Go ahead and autopilot the heading and also our climb, and we'll take a look outside real quick. Battle Creek. Maybe a little bit bigger than I thought. Got it on very dense. One from the far right. Go ahead and close these cowlings. Alright, go ahead and turn off as well the taxi light. Oops. And the exact distance, 237, a little bit further than I thought. We're going to go up to 17.5. That'll help with our fuel economy. So we went 39%. So, man, we're going to be, it's going to be close. Oh, man, we should put a little bit more fuel in there. I didn't think it was quite that far, 237. That was closer to 200. We're cutting it close. Alright, but in any event, I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. It'll be a little while. So, be back in just a little bit.
below 10,000.
Alright everybody, I'm back. We're about 28 miles or so away. Let's see if we can go ahead and hit them up on the radio. CYHM, there it is right there, Hamilton. Full stop landing.
Hamilton Tower, Charlie. Charlie Alpha 240, Hamilton Tower, fly straight in, runway 12. Altimeter
3027. Straight in, runway 12.
Runway 12, Charlie Alpha 240.
Alright, that might be, they might have ILS right there. That's the airport. Let's go over to the map real quick. We do have enough fuel. Hopefully we don't violate the robot. We have to have so much in reserves. Hopefully we don't screw that up. Alright, runway 12, 110.9. 110.9. First off, let's go ahead and head over there. Alright, we'll set this up 110.9. Damn it. There we go. 110.9, switch that over. Although we never seem to be able to get our ILS to work. The plane is confusing as can be on some aspects, kind of like that. I still don't know where the course is. We also probably need to descend back to 700 feet a minute. Increase the mixture. Everything else is pretty good. Go ahead and shorten this up a little bit. And we can increase the speed as well, back up to 4x. I'll stop at around 3,000 feet or so. I'd say in the glide slope is below us, which I would expect, kinda. Kinda surprised it's kind of in range, although I don't know how far out we are. Might need to increase it to 800 feet a minute. Yeah, we're getting a little too close. Because I like to be usually about 3,000 feet more close to the ILS, and we still got a ways to go. So 1,200 feet a minute now. Swing out to the left just a little bit so we can come around. That'll help us kill off a little bit of altitude. You see that coming back up on the glide slope. And you can see it's got, I don't really know how to use that because as you can see it's got the glide slope, vertical speed, but I honestly I don't quite understand it. Alright, we need to slow our right there. And now because it zoomed in, we're actually a little bit closer than we thought. Let up on this descent rate a little bit. And take off the heading, we'll hit nav. It should bring us on course. We need to descend a little bit quicker because the glide slope is a little bit below us. There's the airport right there. The speed got way ahead of us, higher than I thought. Beeping because of the, don't have our gear down. We'll get that in just a second. Right, hit the approach. See if it changes our, yeah it is.
Charlie Alpha 240, cleared to land, runway 12.
Sure, we need to respond to that.
Cleared to land, runway 12. Charlie Alpha 240.
Alright, gears coming down. Alright. Mixture's full. So, I think it is taking over. Even though it says minus 14, I do believe that it's controlling the glide slope correctly, not us at minus 14. In fact, you can see it's actually a glide slope descending at 800 feet a minute. I turn the taxi light back on as well. I want to turn the yaw damper off. I hate that when I take over. Seems to create a bunch of problems, to be quite honest. It makes the rudder like almost like I can't actually use the rudder. Very less effective. Alright, I believe that is 2 notches of flaps. I don't think that's full. Well, actually, I think there we go. Go ahead and put it full. We are close. Nice big runway. Go ahead and slow it down some more. Nice and steady, but see now it's like when you get close enough, you can see it goes away from us. Autopilot is off. Got wind pushing us to the right a little bit. Alright, we are a little bit low, but we're still kind of fast. We might be able to just put the nose up a little bit. I don't want to drop down too quickly. Trim this out a little bit more. We're over the runway, the threshold. Here we are. Off to the right a little bit. I ended up a little bit, just a little too back to the left. Yeah, not the greatest landing, not the worst either. We shall all walk away.
Charlie Alpha 240, exit runway when able.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any sounds from AccuFuel. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Charlie Alpha 240, contact ground on 121.6.
Alright. Hit them up.
121.6.
Stop right here, and we'll turn off the landing lights and the strobe. We'll see what they say.
Hamilton ground, Charlie Alpha 240, taxi to parking. Charlie Alpha 240, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Golf, Charlie Lima Juliet.
Alright, acknowledge the clearance.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Golf, Charlie Lima Juliet.
I'm gonna go ahead and, even though we don't really rev the engine much on the taxi, I'll go ahead and open those up just in case. Not that it'll make a huge amount of difference if it doesn't actually do anything. I know you are supposed to have them up open when you do when you're got the engine revving high, which we don't really on taxi, but I'll just in case. Just in case. Alright. Another successful flight. I think we're going to have enough in our reserves that we shouldn't get dinged on that. Didn't quite realize it was that far. Or I would have put in a little more fuel. Plus we had some heavy passengers, really. They were all kind of in the same weight, but I've been kind of watching that a little more. Since we found out that it was due to passenger weight, making the differences with the amount of fuel. Sometimes we even have little children, whoa, that turn, which drops our weight down a lot, which is really nice. Hamilton, Ontario. It sounds familiar, but I really have no idea where it is. Been to Ontario many times way back in the day. We used to live up in Southfield, Michigan, right outside Detroit. So we used to cross over into Canada quite often. Not quite often, but a lot. I remember going over the Ambassador Bridge a whole bunch. There's also a tunnel there. I can't remember the name of it. We used to go over there fairly often. Took a trip, I remember, once up to Toronto, and then went over east and went over to Niagara Falls, came back through New York. I remember getting a car accident. while we were there. Always fun. Hopefully we make... There's a UPS plate. That's kind of cool. Hopefully we make some good money off this, though. Especially losing that 50 grand. I'd like to make about 50, 60 grand per flight. That way it wouldn't take us that many more flights until we could get another plane, which I know you all want. And I want as well. I mean, it's fun getting flying this plane, but we have done this plane quite a lot. But I was looking at the Caravan. There's also, is it... Oh, man, I can't even think of it off the top of my head. We have the King Air 200B, which I believe is quite expensive. From Flight 1. I think it was from Flight 1. There's several others. Is it, I want to say like TNC Plautus. I can't remember the exact name of it. It was TBM. I can't remember the exact name of it. But we have a few other places. I was even looking at the C90B King Air. It holds more passengers than I thought. I thought that was like a really small plane, but it actually holds more than I thought. I actually flew that plane in air hauler once. It was actually a very, very nice plane to fly. So we could even look at that. Flew that a couple times in air hauler. Very nice plane. Alright, we'll stop it right here. Where this yoke parking brake is on. Get the fuel. Open the doors thing, get out. Turn everything off. Alright, I think everything is off. Close the cowlings, I mean. The fuel tanks. They never put the table up. Never. Unbelievable. So rude. Alright. That one's done. Let's go see how well we did. 239 nautical miles. Took an hour 25 minutes, 58 seconds. Flight time, hour and 37 minutes. Time on the ground, 13 minutes. Average speed, 167 knots. Climb time, 21 minutes. Cruise time, 42. Average cruise speed, 183 knots. Really? I wouldn't have thought it was that fast. Descent time, 22:15. Landing speed, 77.95. Landing touchdown, 81.5 feet a minute. It's a kiss. Landing pitch, 4.66 degrees. Landing weight, 4563. Total fuel use, 188 pounds. Climb fuel use, 74. Cruise, 88. Used about 124 pounds an hour while cruising. Descent fuel use, 25 pounds. $1,110 from the tickets. 19 for the cargo. 158 we paid for fuel. 5 in airport taxes. 48 in insurance. So real income, 918. So we only made 45,900. That's would have liked more. They thought we should be 100%. So we increased 0.22 to 97.79. Only missed a 50. That's nice. Very smooth landing, plus 50. Perfect flight, 150 at correct airport, 30. And you just lost 50 for the beacon. Alright. So I think we need to try now for some more longer flights. We did have a few long flights. We get a lot more money. We get a big bonus for the long flights. So I'll look around on the map and see where we can go from here. I'll try to pick something a little bit longer. But, and we'll also need to check and see how some of these airplanes. The thing is, it can't really tell me all about the airplanes because I don't have them all installed. But I'll check on that and see what we can do with the prices and everything. Well, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it. I will catch you guys on the next flight.